With video adaptations like Alone in the Dark, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and Max Payne, and of course, many others, Doom is one of the most significant failures in the game-to-movie pipeline, and sure as shit in relation to the fantastic source material. Taking something simple yet artistically developed, full support from the company that created it, to go and make this sluggish, generic early 2000s trash is a sin fit for damnation. Just put a Marine on a revenge mission fighting through hell's minions and it's gold. This movie shouldn't have been so f***ing boring. Yet, here we are. Doom is an utter failure. And here's why.
Nice hearing from you, Carlos.
Now, depending on your age, it may be hard to state how crucial Doom was to PC gaming, first-person shooters, and adult-oriented games. Great level and character design, a simple yet engaging story, and it didn't hold back, for the time, on delivering all-out chaos. Doom is widely respected, so I'm not here to tell you something you don't know. But for an early 90s first-person shooter set around Hell's takeover of the moons of Mars, it had enough of a story to engage in the destruction and did a lot of world building with the small chunks of story we got. Doom should have been one of the easiest horror action movie adaptations to do. It's not bogged down with a complicated and heavy story that would have surely been cut and edited down for film. Doom just needed to be Hell's version of one part Alien and one part Aliens, with the tone of Event Horizon. Instead, we got The Rock in the worst version of Paul W.S. Anderson's Resident Evil. Now listen, I don't think a movie needs to be completely married to the source material, but a deep respect and understanding is a must. Doom 2005 had the understanding of someone with no frame of reference.
You're like a child who wanders into the middle of a movie.
The original Doom games, and the ones today, are known for their intense atmosphere. Even in '93, this was thrilling intense. We had a mix of futuristic industrial corridors, but with a used, almost alien-esque design, exotic and frightening landscapes, and pulse-pounding music. Music is key, guys. Even in the modern games, they got it right. There is such a specific and thought-out tone here that I'm confused. Like the work is already done. Just copy and tweak this to your liking and boom, job well f***ing done. Doom 2005 is missing the most important detail if one were to don the Doom name, and that's hell. I'm all for adapting what works to tell what needs to be told. Jurassic Park has a ton of differences from the book, but it still has f***ing dinosaurs. And I don't necessarily hate the story here, at least as a general synopsis. A group of Marines are sent to a Mars research facility that must acquire and bring back the computer data that hides the secret genetic experiments. Okay, fine, whatever. That could have been explored in a way that felt authentic to what Doom is. But remove hell and what's left? Not only does the Mars station look stock, but removing hell removes all of the horror. The blend of science fiction with the occult was a unique combination that made Doom feel distinctive and terrifying. There are no demons here. No, only altered humans by the magical 24th chromosome.
It must be a genetic mutation.
What I can only assume is their crappy rubber suit version of an imp ends up being a mutated scientist. And Pinky? Nah, it's just some dork UAC employee. Besides these two retconned creatures, it's just a bunch of zombie doctors lunging at our Marines. Making this Resident Evil on Mars, not Doom. No demonic symbols, bloody pentagrams, dismembered body parts decorating the walls. No true evil. Only corporate greed.
What the fuck is this?
But this extra chromosome doesn't make everything into a creature. It's more or less based on their innate goodness or evil, the soul.
It could be a specific neurotransmitter it's picking up on.
What the fuck is this?
Some say it's the genetic blueprint for the soul.
What the fuck is this?
Listen, I'm a fan of Doom 3, which was far more of an atmospheric version of Doom. Though I did feel it balanced the new direction with the intense killing of the originals pretty well. And the movie clearly took some influence from the third game, but in no way took the correct lessons from it. The tone here fails to capture the oppressive atmosphere of the games, and just leans more into generic action horror territory. Everything is just angry Marines yelling at each other.
It was his first mission! And it's soldiers!
It's so formulaic, with the horror aspect basically an afterthought, and didn't even bother trying to at least summon its own style and feel. It just copied, poorly of course, what came before. Instead of exploring all the cool demonic creatures and set designs like this, we just got this.
What the fuck is this?
Before we continue with our video, here's a reminder to click the store tab on any of our JoBlo channels and browse our collection of the latest and freshest designs in our merch store. Go get you some.
It's weird to see such a solid cast completely wasted. And listen, I'm not sure if I blame the director or the screenwriter, but the dialogue is corny, the acting is straight to DVD, and everyone just plays on a single note. Rosamund Pike has blown me away before. Dwayne Johnson can act with the right material. Carl Urban has excelled at playing a badass, and Richard Brake playing a creep. It's literally in his wheelhouse.
We're under a level 5 quarantine. I am just gonna have to strip search you girls.
Yet everyone just turns in such a paycheck performance that this is neither so bad it's good or fun schlock in a bland flick. It's just boring. Doom 2005 is a pale imitation of better sci-fi action movies, but without the emotional weight or balls to do something unique. We just get a bunch of vassals constantly splitting up to die in dark rooms with no pizzazz. The kills in this can't even muster up something gory and exciting. Plus, I know I'm going to be kind of picky, but some of these American accents just might constitute a war crime.
The atmosphere on the surface can't support life.
That's not what Goat and I shot at in genetics.
Now, I think the one thing that we all did agree with, in 2005, when we first all saw this in theaters, if you were one of them like me, was the first person scene. Now listen, I'm not saying I would have wanted a whole movie like that, though, you know, Hardcore Henry was a good time. But the thing is, after 19 years, it's just kind of fun. This feels more like a 3D simulation ride you'd go on at Universal. And it's 90% zombies anyway, so I mean, yeah, it's the closest we ever got in a movie to kind of being Doom. It's just too little too late. I would have preferred a better and more authentic story, not some late-in-the-game fan service. And listen, I'm sure this is an unpopular opinion, but yeah, the first-person scene, it just doesn't make up for the clusterfuck of the last 90 minutes. Eventually, we did get Doom Annihilation, which I believe had its heart in the right place, but, you know, on a shoestring budget, that thing had a whole different set of problems. We have yet to get an actual Doom movie. And it's prime for a decent budget horror action adventure. Give me anger, give me gore, and bring me to hell. Because the only big budget adaptation we got was, and still is, an utter failure.
Go to hell.
Seems like the world is moving on. Didn't stop to look around. Didn't give a shit if you're crashing down. You can close your eyes but not your skin. Don't believe what you refuse to see. Won't find a way in. Well, I can't ignore a certain thing.